Hey, greetings, Christian Neighboring, spring of 2019. Just wanted to take a few moments, introduce myself, and get us ready for this course that we're getting ready to launch into here this week. I'm very excited to be with you, of course, as usual. Those of you that have had me before, I'm looking forward to seeing you back in class. Those of you who are new, I'm looking forward to being with you as well. This is going to be an exciting class. I'm looking forward to not only teaching it, but also learning from you and growing through this process as well. I've recognized that as I've worked on the material, a bit of conviction in my own life to be a little more intentional about being the kind of neighbor that we're going to be talking about throughout this course. And so that's been a really helpful thing for me as I've already begun to look at the course syllabus and as I've begun to plan and think out the class. Just wanted to kind of touch base with you a little, introduce you myself. Again, for those of you who have not had me prior to this class, my name is Dr. Jeff Stark. I'm Associate Professor here of Theology at Olivet Nazarene University, also the Director for the Center for Theological Leadership, and really excited to be with you this semester. Want to walk through you a little bit on the syllabus here, kind of talk about a few things. For those of you who have had me in the past, I will be doing a very similar format to what we've done in the past as far as recorded lectures and lecture responses. Although not all of them will happen on the beginning of the week, some of them happen midweek. I've tried to be extremely clear as to the nature of the rhythms for this semester in the syllabus, and I'm going to work really, really hard to follow those very, very closely because I think it's a really helpful and healthy rhythm for us. You see all of the textbooks that are there on the syllabus. You can check those out. I did make a couple corrections right towards the end, but you've got some time to order if you need to order. The Upton book we're going to work on a little bit, probably just sort of as complementary material throughout this course. But I did add Tangible Kingdom by Hugh Halter and also Making Room by Christine Pohl. Both of them do an outstanding job in different ways of talking to us, not only about neighboring, but also about incarnational living and hospitality. And so I really felt like those two books in particular would be helpful for this semester. And you'll notice that there are a few book reflections, for this course. You'll be able to get the sort of flow of those throughout this semester. You're looking at about one every 2 weeks or so. There's a couple, I think, that may be back-to-back. And then there's two books that you're going to do together. So Art of Neighboring and Tangible Kingdom, you'll actually do those together. The first week, I do want to mention this. We are doing a movie on the first week, and I've listed several movies on the syllabus that you can choose from. And I want to talk to you just a little bit about those because I want to be intentional about this. So I chose movies that had something to do with the idea of neighboring or being neighbors or the fear that is found within our neighboring or the call to be neighbors. And I wanted to just kind of share with you a little bit about those movies. The first three that are listed on your syllabus are Gran Torino, St. Vincent, and American History X. If you are very sensitive to the material that you watch, I would encourage you not to choose one of those three. I feel like, this is one of those things where I feel like certain people have certain things that they can or don't or wouldn't like to participate in. Movies don't typically bother me too badly. I come from a culture where even the language in those doesn't seem to disrupt me or cause me to stumble. So I want to be intentional about navigating the reality that those three movies in particular can be a bit crass and crude at times and probably contain some content that some of you might feel uncomfortable with. But I do feel like they're helpful in terms of this particular class. The other four are probably much safer choices. American Wrestler, which is about an Iranian immigrant. We've got Remember the Titans, about racial integration. Coach Carter, which is about neighborhood transformation. And then What's Eating Gilbert Grape? That's an old movie, but I also think it's worthwhile to look at in terms of maybe being aware of the kinds of struggles that our neighbors are enduring. There are some a little bit racy scenes in it, but it's not overall not too bad, I don't think. And so just pick one of those movies that you're comfortable with, that you feel wouldn't affect you too badly, and then sort of operate from that as you're working on choosing your movie for the reflection in this first week. I also want to draw your attention to sort of the final project, which is going to be utilizing Scripture to help people to maybe inspire or ignite the missional imagination of a congregation in terms of neighboring and what the Scriptures have to say about neighboring. I've picked 4 texts. One, you're going to be able to choose from 4 texts. The Good Samaritan, Woman at the Well, Cornelius, and Zacchaeus. You can see them all on your syllabus there. You're going to pick one of those texts, and you're going to work on those texts throughout the semester. So you'll see that at one point there is a biblical exegesis assignment, which is basically looking at the Scripture using scholarly material to get a sense of what that Scripture might be saying, and then you're going to then utilize that Scripture later as you write a full manuscript sermon. For some of you, this may be the first time doing that, and we'll talk a little bit more even as we go regarding the nature of that assignment, what it means to create a manuscript sermon. But I do want you to create a sermon at the end of this, born out of the research that you've done on the text itself. And I want to encourage you, those need to be scholarly commentaries or articles. And you can utilize much of the online articles that come from Atla database there off of the library. You should have access to that. If you don't know what that is, then I can send you a link. Just let me know. And then, or you can use commentaries. If you've got access to commentaries, you can use commentaries as well, or even order a commentary. It's never bad to have a few commentaries laying around the house, especially in terms of the gospel. So I want to encourage you to look at that. So there will be an exegetical assignment. I think it's week 3 or week 4. I can't remember. And then you also have a assignment that will be a full sermon manuscript as well. And so those are some assignments that I want to make you aware of. There is an interview that we'll talk about more as time goes on. What I'm hoping to do is on the first day of every week sort of provide you an overview of the week in terms of a video, and then what we'll do is I'll post the lectures later on in the week. And so in terms of overview, this first week I'm really excited about. But we're gonna really talk about the barriers and the obstructions to what it even means to be considered neighbors here as we live within the context of the United States, and how fear plays a role in that. And so I'm gonna give some lectures in terms of the impact of fear and the ways in which fear causes us to either be xenophobic or make prejudgments that ultimately predispose us to a bit of a more intolerant version of being in relationship with one another. And so I want to encourage you to look at those lectures and to look at that material in terms of your own experiences. And then we'll have a response for later this week as well. And so that's just a little bit of where we're headed. I think it's going to be a great course. Looking forward to, again, learning with you, sharing with you, reading and staying up on what you're providing in terms of your responses and your papers. And one more note, any paper that you write from me, we need to be reminded that this is an academic setting. And so I anticipate when someone is writing a paper for me that it has all the appropriate citations. To write a 4-page paper about a book without any quote from the book or any citation of the book is just not acceptable. And so I'm going to expect there to be interaction with the material in the text itself and properly cited in your paper as well. And so that's just a little bit of what I'm hoping and what I'm anticipating. Again, very much looking forward to where we're headed over the course of this semester. And I am in the office now as full-time faculty, so I'll be a little bit more responsive in terms of emails than I have been in the past, because I'm more here than I am there, instead of more there than I am here. And so that's one of the differences shifting from adjuncting to being a full-time faculty. So again, any questions you have of me, please let me know. Look forward to it, and I will post the lectures as soon as they are finished and get those up a little bit later this week as per your syllabus. God bless, and we will talk more soon. Thanks.